Okay, so potential. So many individuals have so much potential. So many. Myself included. Now, do you always see your potential? Chances is no. You're either not living up to your potential, one, or you're an overthinker, perfectionist like me, where nothing's ever good enough. Now, that also affects other areas, which I will get into later, but potential. Each and every one of us have our own gifts. What are your gifts? Do you even like ponder on that? Me, myself, I have too many. Like too many that I want to utilize to achieve something, right? I'm not like a crazy, like a lot of skills or whatever. I do, but I don't. Graphics design, I'm a graphics designer. I do a lot of other things. I've worked in the oil field. I've done so many things where I have a lot of potential. I just don't always use it. I don't always use it. I also overthink all the things that I create. I create a handful of things. A handful of things. Maybe it's logos, maybe it's marketing templates, flyers. Maybe it's a whole workbook. I've built like so many workbook programs, and me myself, sometimes I just don't think I'm worthy enough. I don't think that it's good enough, right? But that's where us seeing our potential and knowing our potential are two different worlds. See, you can have all the potential in the world, but if you don't think you're worthy of, number one, having potential, or number two, fulfilling your potential, it'll never work. It'll never happen. And that's where I want you to dive in deep into who you are today. Who are you? Is who you are, is who I am, living up to my truest potential? Do I love what I'm doing? Or am I just attending and existing? You know, for a while, I was living up to some certain extent of my potential. I love graphics design. Didn't at the beginning. It was like me fighting against myself. But for a while, when at my last job, I was working in the oil field in procurement. At the same time, I was a graphics designer. I was doing like several positions within the company. And at some point, I found myself just attending to make everyone happy. And I would work my butt off, but I was just attending. I didn't feel like I loved myself in that moment, you know? And that's where I'm bringing up that, do you love what you do? Are you living your potential? Are you working towards your potential? Or does your life merely just exist? Are you just existing, floating through life, floating until you die, ultimately? Like, and when I think about that, it's like, I can't. I don't want that. I don't want that for myself, and I don't want that for the people around me, because I know that they're also watching what I do, you know? And so that's why I bring it up, is potential so important. Find your potential, find your purpose. Your purpose and your potential. You have potential all the time. You also have opportunities all the time. We don't see them because we're blinded by our own circumstances and the things that we're, existing in. We're worried about the car payment, the house payment. Maybe it's, the kid, I couldn't take the kids to school today. They were all sick. So you're worrying about them sick. We're so caught up in all the chaos that our life has brought to us so far that we chose. And sometimes we don't choose it. But we do have a lot of control over our lives that we, whether we know it or not. Because of that chaos, are we allowing ourselves to step back and look at our potential? I want you to break down who you are, because who you are is so important. And a lot of individuals don't love themselves enough to even look that far. I go, oh no, I don't need that. My life's too good, right? But yet, you're still worrying. You're still worrying. So is it that good? Or is it the self-love? Trust me, I've been there. I've been that stubborn fool before. A lot of times. Too many to count on 2 hands. So, something I want to bring up. Some individuals have so much potential, yet they're perfectionists and they overthink everything. Now, this goes into another field like I was talking about earlier. They overthink so much about all their work, all their potential, and because of it, they fear failure. They fear failure, and it causes them to stay stuck. That fear of not being good enough, right? So there's two ways that people struggle in causing them to go out of what they know. And that fear of failure causes them to stay stuck again throughout their whole lives. But something that I found as I'm learning myself and as I'm getting to know myself is when I stop just thinking. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do. But I need to stop thinking about all the things that are difficult because that's freaking me out. That's causing me to go back, right? So I take a leap of faith. Say, okay, well, I don't know what will happen, but I know I need to take action right now. Just right now. I have to. Otherwise, I'm gonna overthink it. Just jump. Just jump. And that's what's caused me to start pushing myself into those challenges, into those changes. A good topic, or not a good topic, but a good quote that I actually got from my father is I don't know if he made it up. Okay, let me just clarify. I don't know if he made it up or if he got it from someone, so let me just clarify that. People don't fear change. They fear being changed. And that's why even if I'm giving you this information, chances is you will stay exactly where you're at. You will still do the exact same routine. Because people don't fear change, they fear being changed. And if you, as an individual, can't consent to wanting the change, the personal development, the work on yourself, if you can't consent to wanting to do that for yourself, then no one will be able to change you. It just won't work. You can't even change yourself. You have to be willing to work on you. This is all you. It's you versus you. So what are you willing to learn? To learn your potential, or to utilize your potential and not fear failure, right? So which one is it? Which one are you gonna choose? What is tomorrow going to look like? What is a year going to look like? Are you willing to do the work? Your actions will always speak louder than words. I've myself heard many times from many people, yeah, I'm going to change. Yeah, I want that. I really want that. And they genuinely feel that way. They genuinely want that change. But when it came down to the actions and the words are here, the actions. Their words didn't measure up to the actions. They could not fulfill that. And it's because they didn't actually consent. Their words consented, but the movement did not consent. You know what I mean? So, something I wanted to touch on. Are you going to move towards your potential? Are you going to start living as you? Beautiful, handsome you? Are you going to be you? Not go working for someone else's dream, because chances is you're probably working for someone else's dream. Maybe it's a food place or a restaurant. You're working for someone else's dream. That's not your dream. You didn't want that dream. You just want to go work for their dream. And I get it. Not everyone can. Not everyone wants to. That's okay. But those that want to, I hope I'm doing something for you to be able to say, maybe she's right. Maybe I don't want to do that my whole life. Maybe I want to live a more fulfilled life for me and for my children that come along. What are you doing? So what are you doing? What does your daily actions look like? Are you hustling and grinding towards it? Because let me tell you one thing. Autumn, little old me, I'm a go-getter. And I'll fight. I'll fight me against me until I get there. I will consent all the way until I get there. I will try to learn as much as possible and be so able to learn as much as possible to get there. Graphics design, I was in high school, but I did not know much about it. Graphics design, I literally taught myself and did it for so long just to get to where I am today. I taught myself. Oil field, okay, I worked for my dad, but it was not easy. We had it, his children have it a lot more than the people that work there. I literally tried learning as much as possible. Whether it was a driver in the oil field, did that. Sales rep, tried learning that. Warehouse, that. What else? Also learned some corporate world stuff. So like the filing stuff. And then I learned procurement, which they bid out the jobs and they quote and try to win and get awarded jobs. I know, you probably don't know. But I tried to learn as many positions as possible. Number one, to create more value in who I am. So that if the world were to shut down, I knew something. Because knowledge is so important. Knowledge you can't replace. Materialistic things you can replace. This candle, materialistic, it can be gone tomorrow. But knowledge can't. Whether you have the knowledge or someone else. Knowledge is everywhere, is ever existing. Knowledge. So the more knowledge that I knew, the more that I could become more of somebody. Because you can replace objects, the materialistic world, but not the information. So I learned as much as possible. I still am. And I will continue to learn as much as possible. Because I know at the end of the day, if I were to lose it all, everything, I know I could rebuild it because of the knowledge that I have. So, the question is, well, it's not really a question, but first let me just say, with who I am, that's why I've gotten as far as I have, or I've worked so hard, because I know that Autumn, if she can be anybody, she's going to be a good student. And I might not be always the best student, because sometimes I fight with myself. It's me against me. But Autumn's going to be the best student as best as she can. I don't need the material world. Autumn just needs to be Autumn. The best Autumn she can be. And then give back to others. So, potential. What are you willing to do? What time are you willing to give to start stepping into your potential? Are you going to keep playing those video games? Are you going to keep watching that TV show? Ask yourself, what could you trade to gain something that's long term, not short term? Because that TV is short term. Oh, you watched it? Okay, is it going to get you anywhere? No, it's for that short term gratification. So what long term could you start to gain? Simple question. Okay. Just some things I want to talk about. I know I dived in pretty deep. I hope you gather something from this today. And again, you don't have to watch these. But if you choose to, more knowledge to you, different perspective to you, come back again to the next video. And we'll talk about something different, something new. Bet on you though. Give yourself the opportunity. Give yourself a chance. That's enough of me talking. So, I'll catch you in the next video.